AEW Revolution, the final pay-per-view in the month of March of the big companies. And I say big companies because I don't care what anybody else says. I follow Twitter. I see you posting pictures of half-empty arenas, and I really don't care because the fact that you're posting arenas that are half-empty or don't have big crowds is showing you that they are indeed competition to WWE, speaking of AEW.
Here's the thing, though. Here's my takeaway from that. When are you shooting that picture? Like, can you get us a timestamp? Because I don't care if you're showing it a half an hour before the show starts. Of course, the place is going to be empty.
Here's the thing: it doesn't matter. It's a weekly televised cable product. The fact that you're talking about AEW in the same breath as WWE is showing you that you're giving them legitimacy. The fact that you care that they got 4,000 people in an 18,000 seat arena. Well, guess what? Impact Wrestling, you don't ever compare their attendance to WWE. You know why you don't? Because they're not competition to WWE. They're not even trying to run 18,000 seat arenas. They're not running 5,000 seat arenas and only selling the TV side.
Here's the difference.
They're not even going there.
Here's the difference, though. Like, no offense to the other, the other brands out there, the other companies out there, but AEW is the closest thing to WWE. From a talent perspective.
They are not a competition in the sense of that, you don't know who's going to win the ratings war on a week-to-week basis, and this is the old Monday Night Wars again. No, but they are competition in the sense that they are a cable, televised wrestling product that you've heard of on a channel that is equal to the USA Network.
And they have established names.
And they have established names, and guess what? They're drawing 4,000 people. Let's say 4,000 is a horrible number, right? I think drawing 4,000 people every single week for televised wrestling is more than anyone else is doing in North America.
But let's be honest, that's not AEW's model to make money. It's the TV deal. It's the TV rights deal. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, would it be cool to see them sell out arenas? Yes.
And occasionally they do.
They do.
That's the thing. 4,000 is a low number. 4,000 is a low number. What I'm saying is Impact Wrestling for Bound for Glory is bringing in 850 people. For a major pay-per-view event for any other company like, CZW or that one that was, the GCW, all those kind of things. Yep. They're getting, maybe 3,000 for a pay-per-view and then about 1,000 for anything else or less, right? And they run shows maybe once or twice a month. For a product that goes on the air every single week and needs to draw people on a weekly basis. And they're not putting on pay-per-views. These are just TV shows where 50% of it is just chit-chat to build up to something else. They're still drawing at least 4,000 people every single week. And here's the thing, people out there, don't compare it to WWE because bad news is I love WWE. I went to Great American Bash 2005. They only got about 5,000 people in an 18,000 seat arena and they sold the TV side only. I've been to some SmackDown tapings in 2008, 2009, and any picture you take from AEW, you can take from WWE. Obviously not right now. They're doing great right now. But go back to 2014 and 2015, and I went to some SmackDowns and Raws where the opposite side of the arena was completely empty. I went to a SmackDown here in 2016, I think, with our good boy Paul Esnin. The other side of that arena was completely empty. I've been to SmackDowns in Scranton, Pennsylvania. The other side is completely empty. So
here's the thing.
They're not immune from that being a thing. And when that was going on, nobody thought WWE was going out of business.
But you know what does matter is a good card. And here's the thing. Revolution's got a pretty darn good card.
I looked at the card and I originally thought, boy, there's not as many matches on this card. I like that. And then I see, wait, there still is way too many matches because MJF and Bryan Danielson is a 60-minute Iron Man match. If you have a 60-minute match on your card, you really shouldn't have 7 other matches.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this feels like another 5-hour show.
Yeah, I mean, the fact 1 hour for one match alone. WWE's been pushing 3 hours at their last 3 pay-per-views, and they've had these big 1 hour, 45-minute matches.
To be fair, I'm down for all these matches though.
Yeah, I mean, the storylines have obviously been getting a little bit better. People were complaining as we were leading up to this pay-per-view that the storylines were not the best But
the go-home show was a pretty good show.
No, it was a pretty good show.
And it was a good show from the perspective that it built, it put a nice, it planted a seed in your head of, okay, this is going to be these for example, the Elite versus the House of Black, like what they did there on that was cool. I'm like, all right, now I'm curious to see how the Elite's going to bounce back from that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that that one match that they did on Dynamite this week that's getting all the grief where Powerhouse Hobbs won the Sonic the Hedgehog ring, and essentially, I mean, The referees had to hold on, and I understand they've done that before, but it just was not a good look. The referee's holding on to the ladder as he goes up, and then literally after he then gets it, he is like a scared kid in ice skates up there. Like it took him a minute or two to literally just get his footing to come back down. Maybe they should have just made the ladders bigger so he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But it was like, it's one thing if they held the ladder and then he won it and then he got back down, but it was just like for a minute or two, you're like, is he going to fall? And he wasn't even like acting like he's manly up there. He's like sitting there like his knees are buckling and shaking.
Hey,
like maybe shouldn't have had him win that if he's kind of not apt to climb a ladder to do it.
I can't hate on him for it. I mean, if he's afraid of heights, I'm afraid of heights.
Well, and maybe you shouldn't have him that guy winning ladder matches. Then.
I mean, speaking of that match though, like that one spot, what was it, a Falcon Arrow off the ladder or something? That ended pretty nasty. I think it was Action Andretti, and then I think it was Sammy Guevara. I mean, Sammy always does you always know he's going to do the crazy because he gets on top of the ladder and he does the whole local thing that he does with his head. It's like, all right, Sammy, just do it already. And here's to me, like, I'm not going to lie to you, like he did the one spot where like he got on top of the ladder. He's like, I'm crazy. It's kind of a boring, all he does is kind of just flop over. It's not like that. It's not like a cool spot to me. I feel like it's kind of meh because to me, it's like all he's doing is just kind of leaning over and falling. It's not like he's doing a cool move off the top, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's me being picky about it, but I thought that Falcon Arrow with Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara, that was kind of a nasty spot. Just glad Sammy Guevara got out of that in one piece. That was a little nasty. And you know what? And I'm looking here. Can we get enough? I mean, can we get rid of so much Jon Moxley blood? I've seen enough blood from Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be funny this past week when he was just bleeding during the promo, in the back where there was obviously. I think it was just like a pun of him. People saying he bleeds so much that he's bleeding even when he's just chit chatting with you.
Yeah, I get the shtick, but like, okay, I know the Texas Death Match. That's going to be bloody. We know. It's to me like, can I just watch a Moxley match without blood?
Yeah, I just feel like it's a little overkill.
It's excessive.
Maybe it's cool leading up to this like a month. That's his gimmick for like a month. But after this match is over, can we just kind of take a break from that? Whatever his next feud is.
I'm with you. I think it's just overdone. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this match. Like, are we finally going to move on from Moxley and Page? I mean, I feel like this has been going on for a while. I feel like it's time to.
Speaking of going on for a while, Christian Cage and Jungle Boy over here, they got a no holds barred match. I mean. That has been going on since last summer.
I do like this. I feel like the finality of it because
hopefully, right? This is the finale of it.
But I just want to see Jungle Boy Jack Perry just tee off because you've seen those parts where he's hesitated and stuff. I just want to see and that again. They did that segment where he dug a hole, so to speak, and he had Christian Cage's name on the stone. Man, that's another great way to sell a match. So I think every match on this card is going to be fun. And the match that I'm really looking forward to, obviously, I'm Jeff.
I was going to say, hopefully not the women's match. The women's match looks all right, but let me tell you, I think the women still have a lot to be seen in AEW.
A lot of work to do.
Saraya, Ruby Soho, and Jamie Hayter.
Give me Ricky Starks all day long. That's my guy. I've been saying Ricky Starks is a star
I know
for a
Jericho
long time.
Appreciation Society at ringside.
I'm happy with that because
Samoa Joe and Wardlow for the AEW TNT Championship seems like a future main event for the ROH World Championship in maybe a couple months.
I mean, that's gonna be a good match. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, this entire card for me looks good. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in that tag match.
Yeah, Dan Hewson in action. I feel like we see a lot of his gimmick, but we don't see him in the ring too much in AEW since he's been there.
That's the only part I don't like about the match. I can't care.
Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, they got their spot into the 4-way tag match this past week against the Guns, the Acclaimed, and Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
I wish they could have done without Danhausen. I think his character's just. I don't care for his character. Every time
I've been keeping him up with Orange Cassidy though because they're very similar in that sense. They're good in that sense of they're both those kind of lackadaisical, like they play off each other real well in the sense of they're both.
To me, Orange Cassidy has more charisma, and he's a better wrestler.
I think Danhausen.
I'm sorry,
he's got some charisma.
I don't think Danhausen has an ounce of charisma. I think his gimmick is just kind of, and that's fine. I hear. I might be in the minority. That's fine. I don't care. That's just my. We all have different flavors because I know he gets the pops on when I hear. I'm like, his character just annoys me. They could do so much more with Orange Cassidy. I don't know why they're pairing him up with this guy. I don't know. It's the one thing I kind of don't get why so many wrestling fans like it so much. I just feel like it's not. it's just not entertaining for me. I just I could do so much without Danhausen. There's other superstars to me that could be on this card that would be fine. I just don't care for it.
I mean, overall, I'm looking forward to MJF. I'm looking forward to MJF in 60-minute Iron Man match. We know what Bryan Danielson can do. But MJF,
we've seen flashes of MJF though.
But again,
this is going to be a showcase.
60 minutes is definitely 60 minutes is one of those things where if he can talk the way he talks, it's earned if you can be in the ring. Now, like, he obviously is quite the character, and he's quite the controversial character. He says quite the controversial things a lot of the times. So if he can last and look good for 60 minutes in this ring, then he's just a total package.
I think he is the total package. I mean, we've seen flashes of this ability from MJF. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be one of his. I know he's a star, but I think if I assume him and Danielson are going to have a good showing. I feel like it's going to be a great match. This right here is going to take him to the freaking moon. I feel like, because MJF, he's there. He's a star, but to me, if he can just have this hell of a match, put on a great show, to me, he could be the face of AEW, WWE.
I just feel like his character's a little too R-rated for WWE.
No,
and a lot of people think that he's coming to WWE. And we'll see as time comes. But for the time being, I think AEW is a better spot for him.
I don't think so. I think for him, I think in 2024, which that's coming up pretty quick here. I mean, we're already in the third month of 2023, so the 2024 bidding war of 2024 is coming soon. And I'm telling you right now, MJF is a WWE guy. He just, to me, he just oozes that. He's going to fit well, and I think in WWE's, they've been a little more edgy. They're not. That's not Attitude Era, but they're edgy enough where I think he can get away with some of the things that he's doing in AEW, and I think he would do a hell of a job. He could be the next face, because here's the thing. What's next for Roman Reigns after all this? Because he's done everything else. I mean, you got to have a new star.
Yeah.
MJF's the perfect guy.
I'm think though it's so long. One thing you got to look at that's a huge difference between now and a year and a half or whatever from now is simply who's in charge of WWE right now. Obviously, Triple H has been in charge since just before Survivor Series, just after SummerSlam, and people are already like, is he even in charge anymore? Is Vince back? So we will see where
Kenny Omega,
WWE,
I hear is somebody WWE's looking into. So they're doing their homework on it. So
yeah, and I feel like Vince McMahon would have looked into him as well. I'm just saying, for an MJF perspective, to see where he would want to go personally, we got to look at what the WWE landscape looks like when
I don't think MJF cares, as long as whoever pays him the most money is going to get him the most celebrity status. I think, because here's the thing, MJF to me is a guy that he's got the skill set. He has the whole package.
Does his contract come up at the end of 2024?
No, it's the bidding war of 2024. His contract ends. It's January 1.
January 1.
I believe it. I could
be
wrong,
what you're saying
but
is
I believe
in Philadelphia,
that's
MJF, Logan Paul, WrestleMania 40.
No, don't put that on. Don't put that in the freaking universe. Come on. Don't do that. We got to have real full timers doing these things.
Apparently, you don't watch a lot of WWE television. You don't know what they're going to do. You have dreams, you'd like them to do, but I'm just thinking more realistically.
But come on,
what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to put him and Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match at WrestleMania?
I see.
Or do you think they're going to put him in with Logan Paul and try to...
You want my perspective?
MJF versus The Miz.
As of right now, as of this recording, what I see WWE doing is they're going to have two pillars on the men's side going into the in the next half of the decade. MJF is one of them. Austin Theory is the other one. You can quote me on that, and we're going to be probably doing the show for a long time. I would bet more money that
next year's WrestleMania might have MJF versus The Miz. Say what you want, man, but look they put The Miz and John Cena in a WrestleMania main event. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that to main event a crappy pay-per-view, but they did it. Why? Because they wanted to do it, and they thought, we like what we're doing here. Well, why is Austin Theory facing John Cena and not in some 7-way ladder match with his U.S. title on the line against real great competitors? Because it looks cooler to have him face John Cena. That kind of thing. WWE,
I'm just telling
you noticed.
Those are my two pillars, I'm telling you.
So, Well, I'm not saying that that's not true, but I'm just saying WrestleMania next year, MJF, if he's involved, I bet you it's in some sort of Miz, Logan Paul.
You're probably right,
those are
but
characters,
it still stinks.
And those
Come
are
on.
characters, too, that just remind me a lot of MJF and could definitely play off.
Who doesn't want to see an MJF versus AJ Styles match? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those aren't things that WWE always gives us. On occasion, they give us our dream matches, but for the most part, they're not giving us the dream matches as much as they're giving us Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, not Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes last year, not Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, not Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. I think a lot more people in dream match scenario, an AEW fanhood scenario, would want their main event of WrestleMania to be AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. But, we're getting Brock Lesnar and Omos. Does anybody, if you were to start a wrestling company and you were to base it off of what we're talking about, MJF and wrestling prowess like Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, would Omos be on your roster? Probably not.
Not a chance.
But he's on the WrestleMania card and he's getting a pretty prominent spot. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and bring you into the WWE perspective of things.
Oh, I know the WWE perspective. It's just a wacky perspective because to me, that's
why AEW exists. So MJF and Bryan Danielson
can put on a hell
will
of a show.
main event a card
and put on a hell of a show. Which this could be an early match of the year candidate. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward. That's the Chase Center, and I'm gonna guess at the Chase Center on Saturday or Sunday night, there is going to be a bigger crowd than that 4,000 people that they had for a TV taping. So you know what? Why don't you take some pictures of a pay-per-view event, not just...
I forgot I said Saturday. I know it is Sunday.
It is Sunday. Well, luckily it's Sunday because again,
I
think AEW knew that I was attending the WWE house show on Saturday night.
Of course they
They
did.
were like, let's make it on Sunday night.
Just for you, Jared.
Maybe they're just trying to still be purists. Maybe the WWE's going to Saturday night pay-per-views. They're like, we got to... Because they were doing Saturday pay-per-views, I feel like, before WWE was. I think at some of the times to combat going up against WWE. But now they've kind of done the opposite. WWE's picking Saturdays, so they're going on Sundays.
It's going to be fun.
Should be a good pay-per-view. The last one, I don't even know. The WWE calendar, what's this? Until, I guess, All Out. Or no, Double or Nothing in May.
Yeah, I think
Double
so.
or Nothing May. Probably Memorial Day, Victoria Day weekend at the end of May in Las Vegas. Should be their next pay-per-view. Seems like it's been forever since their last pay-per-view. I remember when they advertised this for March 5th, and this was like beginning of November. I don't know how they put together 4 months of TV without pay-per-views, but they're doing it in this day and age. And finally, we get to the end of the road this Sunday night from the Chase Center in San Francisco, California.